Now to news commentary, which puts the spotlight on some unacceptable activities in the banking system and the need for appropriate regulations to effect change. The script is by Bala Ali of the Information Services Department, Accra, and presented by Shelley Annan.
Sector is the minimum amount of money that an account holder can withdraw from the automated teller machines, also known or otherwise called ATM, of the various banks in the country using either their Visa cards or the popular GH link. It is sad to observe that if not all, most of the banks have set their ATMs to dispense cash only in multiples of 50s. By this threshold of withdrawal, it means a customer would not be able to withdraw any amount less than 50 cedis in his or her bank account using the ATM booth. This is very unfortunate as it fights against the main objective of digitalization, which is financial inclusion. Thus, the poor are indirectly denied the full benefit of these ATM services, of which they pay for equal services just as the rich. Imagine a situation where the customer of a bank has 40 cedis in his account and needs it to attend to an emergency and cannot access it. Also, consider a situation where a customer has 80 cedis in his account and wants to withdraw it to purchase a drug in an emergency situation. That is the extent to which the banks, which have leveraged digitalization, treat poor, law-abiding citizens who do not hoard their hard-earned incomes in their wardrobes but save with these banks. Can this be termed extortion of customers' money with these banks? It is also sad to observe that the banks have failed to litter ATM booths in the residential areas to make banking more convenient for their cherished customers. At least for the charges for the services they render to their customers for using their Visa and other cards, these banks should have considered making their ATM booths available in most commercial and residential areas, but that is not the case. Some customers pay 3 or more different services to their banks at the end of the month. These include card maintenance fee, a charge on a current account, and another one which these banks call e-services, and for those who receive salaries through their savings account. Despite all these charges, the customers most often drive or walk quite a distance before accessing ATM booths to withdraw cash, especially when they need money in emergency situations like visiting a pharmacy in the deep of the night. What is even more disturbing and sometimes annoying is that after paying the card maintenance fee, the customers are sometimes disappointed by their banks. This happens when, upon driving to where their bank's booths are located, they are confronted by the caption, "This ATM cannot dispense money at this time," or "The ATM services are not available." Under such a circumstance, the customer would be forced to use a different bank's booth, which goes with another charge, or be compelled to go to another location in the case where there are no alternative of other bank's booth in the previous location. Sad to note that a particular Ghanaian-originated private bank's booth mostly fail to work on weekends and holidays, where the ATM booths are the major sources of withdrawing cash. Similarly, it is also worrying to complain that most of the municipal and district capitals in the country do not even have ATM booths at all. At Yeji, a busy market town for instance, as of 2019, had only one ATM booth belonging to GCB Bank. Being a district capital, the government workers did troop to this booth to withdraw cash, which often caused it to break down frequently. It will be a terrible mistake for the banks to take cover under the availability of mobile money services to sleep on these concerns, because both digitalized platforms work to complement each other. It is a common knowledge that unlike the ATM booth, which operates 24 hours throughout the week and can be very helpful at awkward times, the mobile money vendors close at a point in time. If indeed the government exists to protect the interests of the citizens who have surrendered their political sovereignty to it, and not just concerned about the interests of the meritorious minority class who are not affected by these little foxes, it must take these concerns seriously. Since the Bank of Ghana exists to regulate the activities of these financial institutions, the government should, through the central bank, deal with this concern, which mostly affects the majority poor.